Now, I don't know who organized this tree cutting experiment because that's what we have to call it at this point, but they need to be fired. I mean, that was just ridiculous. I mean, everything was falling. Tree branches were falling, the chainsaw was falling, they were falling. That's just completely unorthodox, and I would never hire that company. I wish that the name of the company was like on a truck in the background or something, so I could definitely write that off and maybe even call the state because they shouldn't be in operations. I mean, I had so many questions about what just happened there. I mean, the guy cutting the tree didn't look like he knew what he was doing. There were branches falling that he didn't even know they were falling. That you would think you would know which branches were falling if you were the one cutting them, but apparently he didn't. And the lady at the bottom of the ladder, it's like she is managing the operation, but it's clearly not being managed properly because, I mean, she looked like a passerby that just decided to start looking up there to see what was going on. She didn't even have on any, you know, gear or anything, safety equipment that would be necessary for tree cutting. Not even a helmet. She looked like she had on an Abercrombie shirt and some flip flops. Had any of those branches hit her in the head, it would have been a rescue operation at that point. And not to mention, like, the chainsaw fell from the tree cutter's arms and landed on her shoulder. So I don't know if he accidentally turned it off or it just turned off when it fell, but that could have easily been a detached clavicle because that's where it landed on her shoulder, and she has no helmet. She's got chainsaws on her shoulder. The whole thing was just a mess. But if anybody saw that on that street, if I lived on that street, I'd be concerned. If I look out my window and I see that going on across the street, I'm calling somebody, because that needs to be addressed and it needs to be stopped as well. This whole freelance amateur tree cutting stuff, it shouldn't be happening. Let's just leave this stuff to the professionals. If you don't know what you're doing, just say it, but don't get yourself killed because that was ridiculous. But that's that's just my thoughts on that's I don't know, speechless at this point, just speechless. Thankfully, no passerbys or innocent people were injured in this little experiment that they were doing there, because those would have been the people I would have felt bad for. Now, if one of those guys would have got hit with a branch, and knocked unconscious, I just see that as a life lesson. But innocent people don't deserve to be hurt by that kind of stupidity. So, yeah, if anybody knows the name of that company or that individual, you need to call them and tell them they need to consider a career change. Just a thought.